career-high 6 blocks. How did you feel just about at least you setting a tone to the game?
I mean, it's I'm still learning, rookie. So I just want to get better at being, straight up, being tall, trying to, affect the game, and defensively more than I have been a little bit. Try to get back to how I, was at the beginning of the season. Just trying to, go for everything, affect everything, and try to get as many blocks as I can.
Did you sort of feel like you were at least setting a tone? I mean, points in the paint were huge in your team's advantage in the first half. The alley-oop feeds from Tyler were getting you right at the rim. What did it feel like, that sort of domination early?
I mean, it felt good. I mean, you obviously able to see it on the scoreboard. And then, we towards the end of the game, we could have kept it up a little bit if, you just had to just keep playing with that same pace. So.
To that effect, in the second half, when you see that run coming, you know that run's going to come from a good team like that. What are kind of the common themes? What are the things that were happening that you just couldn't find a way to A, slow them down, and B, then hit the shots?
I mean, it was just more of a, communications, making sure we talk, and just locking more in on defense. It's a full game. You just can't, play a lot of defense. The first half, you got to be locked in the whole 4 quarters.
We know Coach has tough decisions to make. His concern, he told us, was once you got the lead to double digits that they could only beat you by 3s, so he had you off the floor. What's that like when you're having such a good game and you've affected the game, but your coach decides to go in a different direction late?
I mean, he's the coach for a reason. So, I can't. And I'm a rookie, so I can't really say nothing about that. His decision is his decision, and I'm gonna go with it. So.
Kel'el, did you use that maybe last game when you were benched in the second half? Did you kind of use that as fuel to come out tonight, be better than what would you have been? You mentioned that obviously you want to go back to what you were earlier in the season.
I mean, yeah, no, every game, I sit back, I watch it, I try to, learn from it and see where I can get better. So it's a development process. So.
What did New York do differently in the second half that there weren't those clean pocket passes, there weren't those clean over the top? And was the paint that much more crowded in the second half?
I don't think so. I feel like we still could have got it there, but it's just, like I said, it's a development with everything, and just trusting and knowing that that the pass will get there, and that I'll be able to finish it. So.
You talk about the defensive growth. You started the game on OG. Do you think that's something you guys can get to a little more, where there are certain matchups where Bam guards the big and you can kind of play that perimeter role?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's vice versa. He could do it. I feel like I could do it. All it takes is just locking in and being able to just accomplish that. So.
A lot of zone for you guys tonight. What kind of change as far as the zone from the first half to the second half? Playing against a Knicks team that's that offensively prolific.
Well, we, like Spo said, in the second half, we was going to try to get some threes off. So with them being in that zone, and in the first half, I feel like the zone was working. Just because we were being active, we got a lot of defenders on the team that's ready to get dirty. So it's like I said, it just goes back to we got to keep that up for a full game.
These double-digit leads they get away, but is there a common theme? Did you feel like it was kind of the same thing happened all over again? What is going on when you have those leads? You can't make a stop or can't hit a big shot in certain spots.
I think they just made more plays, down the stretch than us. It was a back-and-forth game. 2 competitive teams going at it.
You guys had 40 paint points in the first half, I think 18 in the second half. What did they do different defensively, maybe to change that?
I think we went away from some of the stuff we were doing in the first half to get into the paint. Simple as that.
In moments like that where you need a big shot, did you like overall the shot selection? I would say the end of regulation into overtime as a team for yourself. What did you think about the opportunities there when you had a chance to maybe put the game away?
Yeah, I had some good looks. Could have went in. Same shots I'm going to shoot next game, and see what happens.
You mentioned the late shot in regulation. You shot that shot at a game time to go into your right, that pull-up. Was the spacing different than it's been in the past? Or was it pretty much similar?
I have to watch the film and kind of see what happened. Thought I had a clean look, just didn't fall.
What do you take away from a first half like that? You had 2 back-to-back big games offensively as a team. First half, you obviously were there. What do you try to take away from that as you move forward into tomorrow night and just kind of the things you've seen the last 3 games or so?
Just try to carry off the last 2 games. Thought the offense has been playing well. Just got to continue to stick to it. Bounce back tomorrow night.
And we've seen obviously before about the double-digit leads and all that. Tonight, what changed for you guys in the second half that allowed the game to slip away and go into overtime and eventually lose?
I mean, they got going in the second half. You kind of understand the nature of this game. You know, guys kind of figure out, you know, first half they try to fill out the game, and then you know, I feel like they got in the easier groove the second half, and they carried over in the OT.
Bam, I feel like at halftime I think Miami had about 40 paint points, and then it seemed like it sort of changed there in the second half. What did you feel like New York did maybe differently that compared to the two halves that got you guys going?
We just didn't get in the paint enough, and obviously that's the deciding factor in the game. And you know, other than that, it was right there again.
Kind of on a broader thing concerning the paint points, there have been other games of late where you guys have really dominated paint scoring early on, and they've slipped a little bit as things go on. Are these all matchup-specific things, or is there a bigger overarching theme as to why paint points have kind of gone away in second halves?
I would say, you know, we played 24 minutes of great basketball, and then it kind of dwindles from there. You know, we got to be able to play 48 minutes of great basketball, not just 24, not 36, shoot, not even just 40. So, you know, because we're not a type of team where we could just rely on offense to just get the dub. We got to get stops. We got to do the harder things because we're not that type of team.
To your point about offense, you guys shot 60% for most of the game, but you lost the rebound battle by about 11. Like, how crucial is it to be able to maximize those possessions, even when you're not making shots?
I mean, understanding, you know, some of those rebounds they're supposed to be ours. It's a 50-50 ball. You know, we're supposed to pride ourselves on those type of rebounds, and then, you know, sometimes we just miss shots, and that's part of the game. But you know, it's got to be one of those things where we crash the glass, get offensive rebounds, and then we try to build from there.
Yeah, speaking of the rebounds and just in general, you guys played a lot of zone tonight, kind of went back to it. What changed, in your opinion, just from the first half into the second half when it comes to the zone?
I would say they got used to it. You know, when you start to see it so many times in a row, you start to get a feel for the zone, and you know, they started making plays out of it, even though, you know, we was living with a lot of those tough shots.
Ben, what's the balance of sort of maybe having short-term memory from this game, but also learning from it, especially when you have a game tomorrow night?
We got a game tomorrow night. That's about as short-term memory as possible you can get to. You know, it just stings when, you know, this is like our 10th game being up double digits and losing. So for us, it's when are we gonna hold the fort to have a 10-point lead, go to 20, and then win by 20.
Okay. I guess you know the question because it's the freaking one. Is there a common thread to this? Is there something that particularly went south when you were up 19 earlier, even 12 in the fourth?
I don't care about that. That you can't expect to blow teams out. You know, there were a couple swing moments in the fourth quarter where we could have extended the lead. It didn't happen. That's NBA basketball. At the end of the day, you know, we're up 4 with a minute and change, give or take. A minute. I remember looking at a minute and 7, minute 10, whatever it is. You know, up 4, defensive stop to be had. I believe we fouled, side out of bounds, that tip rebound. That was the game really there. You know, to be able to find a block out. There could have been 2 rotations to get to that block out. Just get a fingertip, knock it out. I think H did a great job on Brunson on that particular play. Brunson was tremendous in that second half, obviously. But we get that rebound now going down the other end. I think we win this game. But instead it's a 2-point game. Then they trap Tyler. You know, we get a wide open 3, but we miss it. And, you know, they come down and able to tie it up. You know, Brunson basically just got down that slot. It felt like that was on repeat. You know, most of that second half, that right slot, he was just he was operating, and you know, we didn't do enough to disrupt that. The way he was going, it would have taken a second defender and recognizing opportunities to go. But you know, that's what great players do. If you don't, they make you pay. And leave you thinking about it. But that's probably where my mind is the most. All the other plays, that's part of the game. You know, they're a good team. You know, they made runs. We made a run back, and I thought we handled it, you know, well enough to get that 4-point lead. We just were not able to finish it off.
The difference in points in the paint from the first half to the second half.
Yeah, I mean, they you know, really ramped up their pressure. That's what we expected going into it. They moved OG on Bam, you know, took away some of those triggers, really pressured him if we tried to, you know, get him in the post or at the elbow. And, you know, he's strong, he's physical, he's fast. And then the other defenders were kind of jamming us up on some of our pick and rolls. But at the end of the day, ugly, you know, however we got it done, we're up 4 with a minute to go.
Your thoughts on what Bam was able to do tonight?
Yeah, you know, I thought he did some really good things. I mean, he was, you know, kind of a release valve in a lot of areas where we were getting jammed up. I mean, they have really good perimeter defenders, and so, you know, some of these, you know, options where we've been getting, you know, some freedom or some space, we weren't able to create that, particularly in the fourth quarter, and Bam was able to help us, you know, a great deal.
Kel'el seemed to be hobbled a little bit in the third quarter. Didn't play much in the fourth quarter. Was that anything related to an injury, or was it just a matter of just going with something?
No, he was fine. You know, we're trying to match a little bit of the perimeter stuff. When we had a lead, I didn't want the threes, you know, to get to us. It wasn't necessarily anything, you know, that he was doing. They're going to put, you know, OG on Bam regardless.
Alec Burke, whenever it is that he plays, it seems as if he's always able to contribute something positive. Like he had a flurry of threes earlier in the game, and then he made the three that made it closer later. Like, what can you speak to just him as a veteran being able to stay ready whenever you need him?
Yeah, he's a pro's pro. You know, he's done it in so many places. That's why, you know, we went after him. You know, he can play this role. It's not easy. You know, and much of this league, you know, people are talking about you want to have good vets, but there aren't a lot of vets that really want to accept these kind of roles. That's just the reality, you know. And he, you know, he is not only able to accept it, but he thrives in that role. He's really important for us. All right, thank you.